I think it is a little more inclusivity. It could be better, but it's been more.
It's like as more crises have happened, like Black people are starting to become more unified in the sense that it's like I want to call you a king or I want to call you a queen. It's like when I look at like Black women or like when I look at like Black men, I'm like, yo, what's up queen or what's up king? I think that's like the desires now. But back then it's like, oh man, you dark. Like like yo, why your lips like that? Or like this is funny now, but it's like a joke about your nose. It's like yo, don't inhale too hard. Like we all gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It is. I'm like, yo, man, like you literally picking on the things that makes us beautiful, you know. But like I realize as kids, it's like we make fun of things we don't understand, and then we also make fun of things that like as a means of like trying to get away from like our hurt. So it's like there someone like who's Black just like me will roast me about not like being Black, but I'm like, yo, you have the same insecurities that I have.
We wanted to kind of give us a backstory, no particular order, but a backstory of just how you were affected by colorism growing up in your early childhood days.
Well, for myself in particular, I think when I think about colorism, it comes in multiple different shapes and forms. Basically, based on your environment. I know when I was growing up, it's like straight from Haiti, barely could speak English, and like blending in was kind of difficult because at first I went to like a predominantly white elementary school. Like, you know, I remember the cafeteria ladies, everyone around, like they knew who we were just because we were the only Black people like in the school. Then when I transferred to a predominantly Black, like elementary and middle school, it was a little different. Back then, I think when ATL dropped, and like you had all the light skinned cats, like had all the clout. Like they basically, if you had like you had juice on campus or like on like at the school, essentially that just means like generally like you fell in that category, you know. And the dark skins, like you had the jokes flying like, yo, you look like a skid mark, or like, you know, they're like, yo, you better smile at night because
exactly.
disappear. So it's just it depends on the different vibes.
Yeah, and it's funny because like you said it like it was almost like gangs or something. Like you got the light skins, you got the dark skins. But I mean, it's really true. Like I have similar experience. I don't think I've ever got called a skid mark, but and I feel like we can kind of laugh at it now. But I got called like Skillet Baby, or like Darth Vader, or like Burnt Biscuit. You laughing too hard. I'm healed, thank God, because you won't be laughing too hard. But
I remember all of these jokes. That's
legit jokes. So what about for you, Caleb?
For me, growing up, I kind of had the similar situation as Ivan's, just on the light skin side. You know, as being a light skinned male, when you're around people of the same color, you're considered soft, or you're considered privileged because you might have a wavy hair, you might be getting all the girls and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So people look at you in a different light, as if that you can't fend for yourself, or you don't know what struggle is because of how light your skin is. It was difficult, and at certain times I felt like even when I didn't really need to, I felt like I had to prove something. I had to prove how tough I was for around the people that I was around. That caused a lot of stress that was really unneeded or unwarranted. So.
And that's funny that you even brought that up, because that was one of the few questions that I did have, like just those stereotypes and those labels that they have with people of lighter skin tones or darker skin tones. So for you, you said that your lighter skin tone equated to like privilege or softness. So like, let's get into that. Like, what age did you feel like you recognized, I guess, the difference of treatment because of your skin tone, like the whole privilege or the softness, weakness?
I would say in high school, that was the main time that I really felt, you know, the pressure of it all. I could walk into certain places and get more respect from, another group of or race, from people that didn't even know who I was, but they would judge my friends that were, darker skin tone than me, and they would get the thug or the, the other connotations that came with that, and descriptions and names that were called, and that to me was an eye opener, even in my own race, just seeing, okay, well, he looks better in front of a camera, regardless if I had a great game, did good in class, great presentation. People wanted to see, the light skinned, well kept person as opposed to the person that might have got a better grade or might have had a better game, on camera with darker skin. It's unfair and it's not right because all of us are equal, in our strengths, as African Americans. Our pigmentation doesn't, define it.
For sure, that's a good point. So, like, Ivans, for you, do you feel like that was something that you've seen growing up? So, the stereotypes of like maybe aggressive or unkept or poor or just whatever.
Yeah, and to Kayla's point, I think it like growing up, like in Florida, South Florida, it's like you do see a lot of these things. Meaning like a lot of the cats I would roll with, like they were dark, like just like me. Oftentimes, like we're from Florida, so we wear golds, like like just how we dress, and like oftentimes when we see someone who was light skinned, it's like they'll probably like if they're in that environment, their father was black, or like they were some type of mix, or like they'll generally get more clout. Especially I remember one time where this one guy just came out of school nowhere, light skin, freckles, whatever. The entire school went crazy. Like,
crazy in a good way?
Crazy in a good way, because it's like this man stepped in there like the new kid on the block, right? All the girls were going crazy. It's like, who's this? Who's that? Blah blah blah. Me and my boys like, dang, dog, like.
Okay, I've been here.
What's up? It was good.
My freshman, fifth grade.
It's like, man, like it was tough because it's like generally like how you kind of got clout back in the day. It's like you play some type of sports, so like you knew how to fight, or like you had girls, and then like basically when they came in, they had instant clout. It's like everyone, if you had a rank, like who's the best looking in the school, da 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 da, all of them like would be light skinned. For me, that kind of like I was like, dang, all I have is left is like sports, or like I'm gonna have to like throw hands or something.
So you did play sports?
Yeah, I played football and basketball.
With the sports, do you feel like you were viewed in a positive or negative way with the sports? Or like kind of Caleb was saying, like being in front of the camera when it came to the sports?
When it came to like favoritism with like some of the coaches.
Okay.
Like they generally like, like a lot of the people who had the opportunities were just like someone who like had someone guiding them or whatever. And I remember a couple cats who kind of like fit that mold, but I wouldn't say generally it's just like straight on colorism. Like from my interactions, it was just based on like who kind of was like getting blessed enough to have the opportunities to get extra coaching and stuff like that. And I know a lot of my homies like who had those extra coachings, like they just came from a different environment.
Self-esteem. Did you ever have low self-esteem or high self-esteem or low self-esteem, high self-esteem based off of your skin tone?
I did. I had low self-esteem.
Interesting. Okay.
I know from some of the things, the characteristics of a light-skinned guy, being a guy that gets all the girls, he has nice hair, has the advantage. For me, it was always, well, you're not black enough. And that was something as a black male, you want to fit in. You want to be accepted. You want to know that you deserve to be here, and you're just as black, as somebody as darker skin. The black of the berry, sweet of the juice term. That was something that when I heard that, I was like, well, dang, like, at a younger age, I was like, dang, well, I ain't that seasoned, like
Yeah.
I'm not that wanted or whatnot, and that was difficult because of the acceptance. You know, you want to know that you can hold your own. You want to know that you deserve to be around, and that people will look at you and be like, "There's culture within him as well, and not just in somebody that has it."
So what about for you in terms of self-esteem?
Self-esteem was non-existent.
Okay, elaborate.
It was just a mix because like I am Haitian, right? So I felt like I couldn't really blend in because of like, you know, I'm black, like, so I couldn't blend in with the white kids, right? But then also I couldn't really blend in with the black kids because I had a different culture. And then like if I was a light-skinned Haitian, they would probably have accepted me like a lot easier because like, oh, he light-skinned, like he got nice hair, like he mixed with something, like, you know, because the three lanes, it's like you either like good women, like know how to fight, or thug, or whatever, or play some sports. I didn't play sports until later, right? So it's like it was still that period of time where I was struggling with talking to other people where that was just like jokes would fly. I never really took in all that positive information, like the black or the berry, sweet or the juice. I never even accepted that. Because I'm like, man, you don't know how it is. I just didn't have a crowd to identify. There's nobody really that wants me like that. So I was just trying to struggle. It was like always a fight to like find where I kind of fit it. Like,
Which lane is it? So let's kind of like shift into dating. So how has y'all dating experience been with, you know, being a light-skinned man or being a dark-skinned man? Like, were you able to get the shorties that you wanted? Were you dissed because of like how you looked, or they wasn't checking for dark skins in the 2000s, but maybe in the 90s, or you know?
Man, I don't know, bro. Caleb, go ahead. It was tough.
I mean, I feel like at some point, like some colors go out of style, right? So like we're all born in the 90s, but we were too young to date in the 90s. But I know just based off of TV, like in the 90s, they was checking for like dark-skinned brothers, right? But then you get to like the 2000s, it's like, no, the light skins are in, and and it's like everybody's shade is going out of style. So did you ever have that effect? Did you ever feel that effect, I guess?
You know, because what you're saying is like really dope because like in the 90s, that's when House Party, like you had Bill Cosby, you had a lot of like dope shows, right? And no offense to like anybody who feels some type of way about Bill, but like I think one of the things that I noticed in that 2000 time frame, like you had a lot of more music videos that Nelly on Fire, like a lot of the main people that we looked at, it was like the lighter skinned people, right? But back then we had Nia Longs on TV, you know, and Naomi Campbell, you know, like so. That I feel in the 90s is just like the blackness was just like a bunch of pride behind that.
Yeah.
I don't know when that kind of mixed up, but I feel like and as far as dating goes, man, I was shooting my shot at every light-skinned short.
Okay, so that's okay. So you were shooting your shot at light skins.
Let me go ahead. Disclaimer: my mindset wasn't really like as like you know.
You were brainwashed by what society deemed as beautiful.
Exactly. But I did like it's not like I wrote the black woman off. Like I came from a black woman, so I still like favor them. But as terms of like ranking, I remember like there was like women like who were light skinned. I'm just like, dang, they up here, right? And I saw like the black woman that was around me. Like I would think she looks good, but I felt like it was attainable. Right, and then back then I was like, I saw the light skinned like women, and I was like, that's someone up there. I don't know why I felt like that, and it's not like it made any difference, but it's like because of the environment and like what was being articulated to me, like the light skinned woman was just like up there.
So for you, it was like if I can bag this light skinned girl, then I've achieved something because it's almost like dating out of my league. So if I get her, then I look.
Yeah,
like the man.
Because I remember, like, you know, back then when, like, you had, like, the 2-week relationships. You know what I'm saying? I remember.
Don't read me now.
You You know, the little two-week
Yes.
tennis drive.
Talk to each other in the hallway.
Like, he's just like, I just,
Y'all pass a couple of notes.
yeah, you know? Like, literally, I remember, like, there was this chick that like, I was talking to, like, she was light skin, you know? Like, when I told, like, some of my homies about, like, yo, like, this is who I was talking to, like, damn, bro, like, yo, she bad or whatever. Yeah, you get the rules. But, you know, there's some other women that you could talk to, because there was a bunch of other insecurities and things that was in there, but, like, I felt like something like back then, it's like the light-skinned women was just like,
yeah. But on the flip side, do you ever felt like you didn't get played because you were dark skinned, or was there a moment where they weren't checking for you?
oh yeah, no. I remember I used to get blazed bad, like because I remember this like it's like crazy, bro. Back then there was like, yo, I just don't understand. I just why you so ugly, man. Like you.
Like a girl could say that to you? Oh wow. Okay.
Fan, like, bro, when I tell you, I was like, yo, like, I feel like a lot of things plays a part, but I feel like it was like that, and then also like, cause I felt like if I was light skinned and I wore the same thing, like every single time, it would be no problem, cause I saw a homie that did the same thing that I did, but he got more play than I did, right? It's because I didn't have money, like I wore the same shoes every day until they were talking in the hallway like this, right? Same South Pole pants that I wore every single day with every outfit, right? So it's like that mixed in with the fact that I was dark. It's like the double L. You know what I'm saying?
At a certain point in time in my life, in high school, I'll say that I wasn't in style until sports was involved. I never had a girlfriend. I never had, somebody that was interested in me until I was playing basketball. Or that time of the season came around, and where, okay, I am on the news because I'm in front of the camera. I did score this many points. Oh, you are in the paper. Oh, you did do this. Or you did do that. It was always situational or whatever, or conditional as far as what looked good for them. And a lot of the times in high school, it's not that I discriminated against dark-skinned women or whatnot. It was some of the women discriminated against me.
So you chose based off of who's choosing you.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Right. So it's not that I, like I said, I discriminated against, just because they had darker skin or anything, but it was, okay, well, you're light skinned, you can't fight. Like, you're quiet. Like, you dress nice. Like, and what was in style was the tough dude who was fighting all the time or whatever. Honestly, wore Dickies or whatever. The black.
Dickie down like you just got out of prison.
Yeah, high school.
Yeah.
Black suit, black Air Force Ones or whatever, and you know what that is.
So that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's a dangerous cat.
You with some black apples.
Yeah, you don't care. You don't care about your life.
And if you shoot, get scuffed.
Right.
It would matter.
Those type of women, they just didn't really think that I was just in style. They might have thought I was cool just to be a friend. They thought I was cool to, oh, he's good at basketball, he can hoop or whatever. But to be my man, like that's not what I'm looking for. I stuck to what was comfortable for me and where I didn't get all that rejection. So a lot of the times I didn't really shoot my shot at people, women that were of darker color. Like, my wife is light skinned, but I didn't choose her to be my wife based off of her skin color. I chose it off of her heart and how she carried herself and how she carried herself around other people, her love for Christ. So, that's
good. This is going to be the second to last question. In your opinion, do you think that colorism still exists?
Yeah, of course. Like, it is. I think it's taking different forms. Meaning, it's not so much black and white, but I think it's still very prevalent. It's like now, since in South Florida, like I talk about it a lot, but it's a melting pot of different cultures, right?
Yeah.
So
it is.
you have like she could be mixed with Colombian and
Yeah.
Brazilian, or she could be
Chile.
like, it's just like, you can find anything, right? And then I feel like those are the women who are like on TV shows, like BET's pushing those really, really heavy.
Yeah, for
VH1
sure.
is like back in the 90s, like we were talking about earlier, it's like black, like,
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Kenya Moores, the Nia Longs,
Nia Long, Naomi Campbell, like, you know,
Naomi
a lot
Campbell.
of these women are strong black women, you know. But now it's like I'm not saying they're not strong, but it's like the representation is like lopsided, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of like dudes still put it into the high self like esteem. The only difference is we're learning now how to be appreciative of the skin color that we have and where we come
I
from.
think so.
So then there's a lot more people that's like not like, yo, I'm focusing solely on this. It's just like, let me be open, let me try to venture out. But like the differentiations of like, man, like fair skin versus dark skin is like, it's still different, you know?
Yeah. What do you think?
I still feel the same. Like we have still that kind of a small amount of competition, but I feel like now there's respect across the line.
That's big respect.
You know, so people will make the joke, but they don't look at you as less than. They see you as just as strong as, you know, as the other.
Yeah.
You know, because we have so much going on, you know, in the world right now, to where people are like, okay, our people are together.
Yeah, we have to stick together.
We got to stick together, and just because one's lighter, one's darker doesn't, you know, tear us apart or whatnot. Because we're all one unit. Because we have to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's still good. Yeah.
So last question, what advice would you give your younger self?
I think I'll go ahead and give my younger self like a shirt that says black with solid black, like just to remind them, like, look, like you can't dictate like the skin that God put you in, right? But there's a reason why He put you in that skin, you know.
Yeah.
And there's like such beautiful things about being in your skin. The things I needed to hear is to like a connection to something greater, right? It's like we come from kings and queens. Like we have the richest culture ever, right? And then your blackness, it should be a sense of empowerment to kind of remind you, like, look, you literally are connected to these people who like kind of set the standard for the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reminding myself, like, look, bro, like your skin is so dope, like you just don't even know.
I tell my younger self, I say, man, be who you are and don't try to fit into anything that you're not, because there's power in who you are.
It's power.
As a person, you know, you are dope. You can do the certain things that you want to do and become who you want to be. Don't let the lack of affirmation or all the affirmation, you know, that you get, or the easy pathway be the determination of what it is that you want to do and how you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Just move in the light. That's why that's no pun intended, but move in the light, because you know you might be able to shine on somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be able to just glow.
Yeah.
And then when you're around other individuals who are maybe putting you down because of your brighter skin or whatever, you know, don't let it affect you, let it build you.
Yeah.
Because that stuff builds character. Love who you are and embrace, you know, what you are.
Yeah.
You know, because there's love everywhere.
That's good.